Have you heard about Org Special Funds? I know you've heard about Mansa X. If you haven't heard about Mansa X, which is powered by Standard Investment Bank, watch my earlier video, which I'm going to also share in the description box. Have you heard about MMF's money market funds? Well, if you have heard about MMF, or if you already know how MMFs work, then this video is going to be easier. But even if you haven't heard about MMF and this is your first time hearing about MMF, this video is also for you. In today's episode, we are going to be reviewing Org Special Fund. But before we get into the details of this video, before we get into the details of Org Special Fund, have you subscribed to this channel? Please press the subscribe button and smash the notification bell so that whenever I upload other informative videos, YouTube will always notify you. In today's episode, we are going to be reviewing Org Special Fund. What's Org Special Fund? Org Special Fund is a product of Faida Investment Bank, right? It is a specialized fund and it is regulated by the Capital Market Authority. Before you get yourself into any investment, you always have to confirm that whatever investment you are getting yourself into is actually regulated by the regulator, either SASRA, RBA, Retirement Benefit Authority, SASRA being the SACCO's regulator, or Capital Market Authority, or CBK. Now, investment banks are regulated by the Capital Market Authority, CMA. So, Org Special Fund is a regulated product by CMA, the Capital Market Authority, and it is a product of Faida Investment Bank. So what's so special about these Org Special Funds? That's exactly what you're going to be discussing in this episode. Now, at the end of the video, you're going to have a good understanding of what Org Special Fund is. You're going to have a good understanding of what you need to get yourself or to start investing in Org Special Fund. You are going to know the advantages of investing in Org Special Fund. Unfortunately, I am not going to compare it with Mansa in this video. I'll do another video comparing Org and Mansa, but for this video specifically, we are going to be understanding the advantages of Org Special Fund, what you need to invest in Org Special Fund, and the disadvantages of investing in Org Special Fund. So you need to stick around to the end of the video because this video is for you if you are on a journey towards attaining financial freedom. This is part of the information that you're supposed to be having, right? Thank you. Now, like I have said, Org Special Fund is a product of Faida Investment Bank. Now, Org Special Fund, just like the money market funds, you give Faida Investment Bank your money. What is Faida going to do with your money? Faida Investment Bank is going to invest your money on your behalf. I can tell you for a fact that not many of us knows how to trade in shares. Many of us would like to. We would like to earn dividends. We would like to earn capital gain from stocks. Yeah? But we lack the ability. We lack the skills. Sometimes we even have the skills, but we lack the time. Fine. You might be knowing how to buy shares, but you don't know how to trade in Forex. Or you know how to trade in Forex, but you don't have the time. Or maybe you have the time for trading in Forex, you know how to trade in NSE, but you don't know how to trade in commodities. You don't know how to trade in commodities, or you don't know how to trade in stocks across the country, right? So when you give Faida Investment Bank your money, Faida Org Special Fund rather is going to invest this money. It's going to it puts together your investment and my investment and your SACCO's investment if your SACCO invests here, and ABCD's investment, that company's investment, your church's investment in the Org Special Fund. They pull it together. As we speak right now, their portfolio is about 8 billion, yeah? And interestingly, they had started this fund in February. By now, they have already received investment from different people worth 8 billion. I don't know if you're a part of this 8 billion, but they are presently managing a portfolio of 8 billion. So once we have all given the Org Special Fund our monies, Org Special Fund is going to identify opportunities to invest in shares or in stocks. And that is not just in NSE in Kenya. Org Special Funds is going to invest this money, a portion of it, in NSE, in stocks in Kenya. It's going to invest a portion of it in Hong Kong. It's going to invest a portion of it in UK, a portion of it in German, a portion of it in US. It's going to invest in different stock exchange, in different countries. So what is that telling us? That Org Special Fund is a cross-border investor. Something that most of us lack the ability to. And by the fact that you are able, that Org Special Fund has the ability to invest across the borders, it makes the risk of that fund to be small like this. Why? Because it has diversified, or it has spread out its risk across borders. Now, something else that Org Special Fund is going to do, it is going to buy treasury bonds in Kenya, in Tanzania, in Rwanda, in UK, in Hong Kong, in German. It's going to buy the sovereign bonds across the nation, across the globe. It can also buy corporate bonds because it has the ability, they have the ability, the skills to analyze corporates, their performance. Is this company solid? Is this company stable? Is this company, do they have the ability to pay back if we lend them money? We know that there are companies which have floated corporate bonds and they have not been able to pay those corporate bonds. Some of them being like Chase Bank, which was put in receivership, Nakumat, which was put in receivership. Imperial Bank also was not able to pay its bonds. Now, Faida Investment Bank has the ability. I'll tell you why I'm saying it has the ability to do this analysis of companies, but they have the ability to cherry pick specific corporate bonds for companies which are least likely going to default. But even if these companies defaulted, Faida Investment Bank also invests your monies in foreign exchange. Faida Investment Bank, or the Org Special Fund, will also invest a portion of your money in commodities. Commodities being like weed, special metals or special stones, wine, oil, and different markets. They are going to invest in derivatives. So why am I giving you a list of these things that Faida Investment Bank is going to invest in, or that Org Special Funds invest in? So that you can understand the underlying asset of your investment. This underlying asset of your investment is what is going to advise you or to inform you of the level of risk that your investment is going to be exposed in. So just like Mansa, Org Special Fund is a moderate risk investment vehicle. Org Special Fund is a unit trust. It's a collective investment scheme. It invests collectively, quote unquote, on behalf of different investors. What are the benefits of investing in Org Special Funds? Are there any benefits to investing in Org Special Funds? Of course, yes, a lot of benefits. Now, Org Special Funds are expertise. Faida Investment Bank are expertise. Do you know Safaricom? I think you do. Do you know Safaricom trades in NSE? Their shares are listed in NSE. Of course you do. Do you know that the first time Safaricom was listed in NSE, the IPO, it was back in 2008 if I'm not wrong. Do you know The investment bankers or whoever advised that transaction, it was Faida Investment Bank, right? They handled the IPO for Safaricom. They handled that transaction. Do you know NCBA? NCBA was formerly Commercial Bank of Africa, and it merged with NIC. Now, NIC and CBA merged to form one bank, which is now called CBA, one of the big banks or the Tier 1 banks in Kenya. Do you know who handled that transaction? The merger between NIC and CBA? Faida Investment Bank. Do you know Cooperative Bank? Cooperative Bank shares are listed in NSE. So, of course, I believe we all know Cooperative Bank and we know how big a bank it is. Cooperative Bank, IPO. The IPO for Cooperative Bank was also handled by Faida Investment Bank. So, what is this Faida Investment Bank? Faida Investment Bank is an investment banker. Faida Investment Bank was incorporated in either 1994 or 1995. Now, the person who incorporated Faida Investment Bank is currently the chairman for the equivalent of Nairobi Stock Exchange, but now in Rwanda. The chairman of Faida Investment Bank is the founder of Faida Investment Bank is the sitting chairman of Rwanda Stock Exchange. What does that tell you? Experience. The brains behind Faida Investment Bank are people who have experience in banking, in investment banking. They provide advisory services. They have the ability to read financials and interpret. They have the ability to do a health check for companies. So these are the people who are actually going to manage your finances and invest this on your behalf. That is the advantage of org special fund. And how does it translate to you as an individual? Now, once org special fund has invested your money in the shares, in commodities, in bonds, sovereign bonds or government bonds, it has invested in corporate bonds, it has invested in futures contract, it has the options, swaps, those terms that are mentioning that you don't want to understand what they are right now. I also don't want to take you through the burden of understanding what they are right now, but they invest in different things, commodities and what have you. Once they have made the capital gains, once they have earned their profits, once by selling the commodities, once they have received their commissions, once they have received their coupons, they receive different types of returns because they invest in different investment assets. Yeah, once they have received these returns, they share these returns with you, with us. Let me paraphrase. All special funds receive our monies. Once they have received our monies, they pull them together. Like now they have a pool, a collective pool of 8 billion. Now they invest a portion of this 8 billion they use a portion of this 8 billion to trade in Forex. They use a portion of this 8 billion to buy shares in Kenya, a portion of this to buy shares in German, a portion of this to buy shares in all those other places that I've mentioned. And then once they have sold these shares or received dividends from these stocks that they are holding, they share this return on investments with us. And at what cost? They are going to charge us 6% for all that work that they're doing for us. This 6% is charged on the fund that they are managing. If I give them 100,000 shillings now and they invest my money for me, and my money grows until it gets to 150,000 shillings, it gets to 200,000 shillings, they will be charging me 6% on the value of my investment with them. That is the principal and the return. How cool is that? Anyways, another advantage of the org special fund is that they have a targeted return on investment of 20%. They might hit it or they might fail to hit it. But Oak Special Funds targets to give you, the investors, or to give us, the investors, a return on investment, an annualized return on investment of 20%. This is not 20% per month, yeah? But an annualized return on investment of 20%. They might hit it and surpass it, or they might fail to meet it, but their projection or their aim is to give us a return on investment of at least 20%. And you know the beauty about this? Unlike Mansa, they don't have a hurdle rate. They charge us 6%, whether they give us a return of 30%, whether you have a loss, which is least likely, whether we have a return on investment of 15%, of 25%, or they target 20%, there's no additional charge on that. Now, this is not a guarantee. Oak is not telling us that they will give us a return on investment of 20%. No, they are telling us their target is to give us a return on investment of at least 20%. Just like the MMF tells us, their target is to give us a return on investment which is pegged to the treasury bill rate. Now, because the underlying assets for the Oak Special Fund is high risk, meaning they have higher returns, that is why Oak is not pegged on the treasury bill, which is a low risk, hence low return. They have a higher target. Now, what do you need to start investing in Oak Special Fund? As per their fact sheet, you need to invest, you need to have at least 500,000 shillings. But don't get discouraged. Stay around. You need to have at least 500,000 shillings for you to start investing in Oak Special Funds. And then whenever you're topping up, you need to top up at least 50,000 shillings. Why 500,000 shillings and why a top up of 50,000 shillings? This is because, remember, they're spreading this investment in different areas, yeah? For you to get some good return out of it, you need to have at least some substantial amount. I saw a post where somebody put up his ZD statement from one of the ZD is an MMF, yeah? And he was saying, I'm only getting 75 cents, 20 cents daily. Is it worth it? Now, for your investment in Oak funds to be worth it, you need to invest some substantial amount so that whenever you are paid your returns, it inakuwa kitu ya maana. It becomes something substantial. Okay? So that is why they recommend or they encourage you to try to invest at least 500,000 shillings. What if you don't have 500,000 shillings? If you go there with just 100,000 shillings, you will become a client of Oak Special Funds. I am saying that in as much as their fact sheet says that the minimum investment is 500,000 shillings, you can go with your 100,000 shillings and you become a client of Oak Special Fund. Now, after you have taken in your 100K, you can always top up your investment. One secret to investing is two. Number one, start with what you have. Number two, okay, actually there are three secrets. Three secrets to investing. Three secrets to investing that these other guys will not share with you is, number one, start with what you have. Don't ever wait to save until you have a huge amount, yeah? Start with what you have. They are telling you you need a minimum of 500,000 shillings, wapeleke 100,000 shillings. If they decline to take that 100K, comment on the comment section. Let me know if they have refused. I bet you not. They are not going to refuse. They will take it, right? Start with what you have. The second secret to investing. Second secret. always top up your investment, especially if you began low. The third secret, compound. Take advantage of the compounding effect. Be patient. Patience. Be patient. Give them the 100K. Give them the 500K. Give them the 1 million. And then don't rush to withdraw. Just like Mansa, they also advise or recommend a lock-in period of 6 months. As in, give them your money. Don't go to withdraw it before 6 months elapse, so that you can see something tangible of the returns. Okay? And why 6 months? Why does these special funds recommend 6 months? The 6 months period is a good time. It's a reasonable time for for volatile market to adjust itself. Remember, like I've told you, the underlying assets of Oak Special Fund, just like Mansa, is a mix of low risk, that is now the sovereign bonds, and high risk investments. High risk now being the commodities, being forex, being shares. Yeah, it has a mix of these investment vehicles or assets. Now it also has a mix of fixed income securities or fixed income assets and variable assets. Variable like now the forex exchange, the foreign exchange. Variable like stocks or shares, where you can make a capital gain of 1 shilling or $1 today, and if you wait 4 days later, you can make a capital gain 10 times that. With the same breath, you can make a capital loss this month, but if you don't dispose that asset, like say for instance shares, yeah, you can buy shares at $10 or at 10 shillings, and then 1 week later the share price drops to 8 shillings or to $8. Okay, so if you sell it 1 week later, you're going to make a capital loss. But if you wait maybe 2 months or 3 months later, this same share could increase to 15 shillings or $15. So if you wait for the 2 months, you'll have made a capital loss, and then you'll have the market adjust itself, and then you make a capital gain at the point which now all can now sell that unit. So what am I saying? If you want to maximize your returns on these special funds, you need to be patient with them. You need to invest and let your money stay there for the longest duration possible. Of course, monitor the returns that they're paying, the return on the investment that they're paying us. Yeah, if they become consistent or they improve, then we stay in Oak. But if they start offering us maybe 5%, 3%, 2%, 10%, then it might be time now to go back to treasury bonds or to the money market funds, which are safe, which have low risk, and so we should be comfortable with a low return, because there is a relationship between risk and returns. Oak Special Fund is a moderate risk investment, so we expect the rate of returns, we expect it to pay us better than the money market fund is paying us at any one time. Will that always be the case? Maybe not. Why? Because the underlying assets, some of them are high risk, and depending on how Oak Special Funds will have allocated the fund amongst these investment vehicles, depending on the performance of those specific investment vehicles, there's a possibility that they'll be having fluctuations in their return on investments, which I don't expect actually to come down very well, given the experience that Faida Investment Bank has. This is an investment bank that has been in the market for 30 good years. 30 good years. Now, that is the years of experience that your fund manager has. Remember I told you that the founder was at the helm of NSE and is presently is the sitting chairman of Rwanda Stock Exchange, Well, Faida Investment Bank is also in Rwanda. So that is it about Oak Special Fund. But what are the disadvantages before you give them your money or before you call them? Are there any disadvantages of Oak Special Fund? Of course, yes. I told you they invest in NAC. I told you they invest in shares, yeah? What are the disadvantages or the risk in investing in shares? That is the risk that your money will be invested, it will be exposed to. I told you they invest in sovereign bonds, government bonds. What are the risks associated in investing in government bonds? That is the risk that your money is going to be exposed to. I also told you they invest in commodities. They invest in foreign exchange. Now, the risk associated in these underlying assets, you are also going to carry a portion of it. All right? Now, Oak Special Fund is run by people, by human beings. Okay? And human beings can easily make mistakes. So, your money will also be exposed to mismanagement, the risk of mismanagement. However, given the years of experience, the 30 years of experience, I haven't seen any trace of mismanagement by Faida Investment Bank. So we don't foresee them mismanaging our investment. And how safe is your money? What are the chances that these guys behind Oak Special Fund can pack up and leave the country with your money? Now, I told you it's regulated by CMA, Capital Market Authority. For you to have this fund, you need to have a trustee. Now, Oak Special Fund, the trustees for Oak Special Fund is Cooperative Bank. We all know Cooperative Bank, yeah? The custodians for Oak Special Bank is KCB, the biggest bank in Kenya. So how safe is your money? Your guess is as good as mine. Awesome. What was the returns? What has been the return for Oak Special Fund? Yes, their fact sheet. This is their fact sheet. Let's go through the fact sheets. Now, their annualized returns. Annualized return is the return you get in a month, then you annualize it. You multiply by 12. So now, the annualized return is, the latest annualized return is 17.49%. That is the return for November. It does not mean that from February to November they have made 17.79%. No. But during the month of November, they made an absolute return of 1.43 and an annualized return of 17.49. The Treasury bills interest rate is presently at 10%. In November, the T-bill rate was at 10%. And your MMFs peg their rates on the Treasury bills. So what am I saying? The interest rate for money market funds are bound to come down. However, I'm not saying that we can compare this Oak Special Fund with MMF cent to cent, because the underlying assets for MMF are low risk investment. So the MMF is low risk and the Oak Special Fund is a moderate risk. It carries a higher risk than the MMF because of the difference in the underlying assets. Now, because of the advised lock-in period of 6 months, the Oak Special Fund is ideal for moderate to long-term investment or moderate to long-term savings. In other words, don't invest your emergency fund in the Oak Special Fund. If you go to them, they will give you your money. If you invested today and you wanted your money tomorrow, they will give it back to you. But you will not have realized the full potential of your investment. If you want to realize the full potential of your investment, let that money stay there longer. Okay, so this is it about the Oak Special Fund. Like I have told you, it is a licensed product by the Capital Market Authority and it is brought to you by Faida Investment Bank. Like I have said, Faida Investment Bank are the guys behind Safaricom IPO. These are the guys behind the Corp Bank IPO. These are the guys behind the merger between NCBA and NIB, CBA Bank and NIC Bank that now formed NCBA, and other big transactions, successful transactions that they have handled. I told you their chairman, their founder rather, was at the helm of NSC. I told you he's presently sitting in Rwanda Stock Exchange. So certainly they have the year, not that just the years of experience, but they have management expertise. All right? What do you think about Oak Special Fund? Is it a product that you think you'll want to try? And what do you think about this in comparison to Mansa? Do leave me a comment in the comment section. Give me a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and press on the notification bell, because we are taking these financial literacy lessons to another level. My name is Berlin. See you on the next video.